the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, that's what we're discussing here today. Now, the first thing I want to say before we dive deep in anything, okay, I don't want anything to be misunderstood, misconstrued, mistaken, or anything like that, that I am for war, against a war, anything like that. When it comes to this channel, where it's all about the market and making money on said market and providing direction on it. The end. That's it. Okay. Now, I recommend if you're following the channel, you follow on Twitter so you can get all the updates on the chart throughout the day. So, going into Friday's video, obviously I was bullish on the market. Go watch the video, see my viewpoint there. The question, though, for most of you guys was, what was my take on the market going into this week? Was I still going to be bullish despite what was happening in Israel, right? And if you followed the channel, then you understood. Okay, and I had it all on Twitter. So today, what happens? Let's go to the 2 hour. Let's talk about the action. Now, to start the day, you get that sell-off, right? We have futures selling off to start the day. This is ES. We'll go into the Nasdaq, SPY, etc. See that sell-off, you're bouncing. But it's important to see where you drop to. So basically, last night, you started dropping, and we sat at 4,300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 2-hour candles. 16 hours for all you people in remedial math, bouncing out of this. At market open, getting love, right? Pushing up. The Nasdaq, same thing, but at 15K. Bouncing, bouncing back, bouncing, pushing up. Why are these levels important? Okay, this is not to say I told you so or anything along those lines. This is to highlight the importance of how we're moving and key levels. I've continued to say, over 4,300, you are bullish. Below 4,300, you look terrible. That's been it. It's black and white. There's no misunderstanding. There's nothing along those lines. That's what you've had to pay attention to and watch. Nasdaq, over 15,000, you look great, and you're pushing up very nice. Now, on the Nasdaq, and again, we have to dive a little bit deeper here, you're pushing into illiquid areas, probably back into 15.4 if I had to guess. It's highly likely. ES, again, your target here is 4,400 roughly. You zoom out to something like the daily, and you can kind of see here, back into those local lows, June 26th, August 17th, August 25th. That's what you're looking for us to come back into. So about 40 points back into that range, I'd be watching. Okay, so that's the viewpoint there. Now, again, before I dive too much into anything, the biggest impacts that you're looking at with Israel, what's happening over there. One, does America get involved? That's number one. Okay, number two, oil prices. What happens here? The big elephant in the room. Last week, we saw oil getting destroyed. This week, we saw a bounce on oil from 82 to 86 just so far today, right? Looks like it wants to keep trying. But again, for oil, I said this morning, I need like 2 days of data. I can't respond on one day, right? One gap up and sideways movement. It looks like it wants to bounce back up. You're still in this range here as well. Above 82, you look fine. Below 82, you look terrible. Continue to say that as well. Okay. Now, when we look at what's happening, okay, it's horrible. It's terrible. I agree. But the underlying statement of this market that's going to be very impactful is, does the United States get involved? There's all types of tweets out there right now. There's all type of misinformation, and you need to wait and be patient. The direct fact or the direct information that will probably push America to get involved with this, don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry. You're all going to have your own little opinions. I don't really care, but you come to the channel for Tyler's opinion. So I'm going to give you my opinion, right? And people might get mad that I say this. If it comes out that Iran, and there's indisputable evidence that Iran worked with the Hamas group with this, in my opinion, Israel will attack and the United States will join in with them. Personal opinion. Okay? It is what it is. If there's not indisputable proof, and some of you are like, well, there's already proof. I worked for the CIA, and I've been on my internet all night for four hours straight. I'm like, okay, buddy, relax. Okay, if there's not, the United States will not get involved whatsoever. They will distance themselves. It will be a proxy war to where they just let the countries do their own thing. That's typically what the United States does anyways. So I'm leaning more towards the second idea, that the United States isn't going to want to get involved. We don't want to get involved as it is. But if Iran did have involvement in this and there's hard evidence, then we will get involved. That's the underlying thing there. Number two, the impact on oil prices. If Iran gets attacked, I think oil prices skyrocket. Personally, I think they shoot up, right? Which would be indirectly terrible for inflation. Okay, tell you that right now. That's my opinion. That's how I'm viewing this. But what I will say in the short term, okay, the short term, like I've been saying, the dollar, very weak. We came right into our target, like we said from Friday, around 105.9, right almost to the tick, 105.95, right? Bounced up, terrible candle, very weak on the day again. Like I've been saying as well, yields will lag the dollar. Say it with me. Yields will lag the dollar. Tyler, I will try to listen to you. Okay, I promise I'll try. I'll make an effort. Yields, the 30-year, down. 10-year, down. 5-year, down. 2-year, even coming down as well. This kind of happened close to the end of the day. But still, so you can see they're all coming down. Worth mentioning, right? What you wanted to see. And again, like I said, yields lag the dollar. Yields typically won't move up or down before the dollar gets its clear direction. Okay, I'm just trying to help you guys in the long term, right? All right, now we dive back in. IWM, we mentioned where we came to as well. You came right down to support. You're bouncing out of support, clear as day. Pretty beautiful. You love what you see. Okay, good action there. So again, as we look, all indexes look pretty healthy. And again, you cannot predict if the United States can get involved. I can't predict that. So I want to make that really clear. People don't attack me. They get involved, you're going to turn pretty bearish pretty quick. But that's my opinion there. Now, we take a little bit of a deeper dive. We go to equities. Apple, like we said, above 174, you get really bullish really quick. You mount 174, and in 2 days, you're back at 179. Apple gets above 180, you are cooking. Above 180, you're pushing back into 183 with ease. Be watching that. I'm going to come back to Apple, but I'm going to tell you right now, if the leading equities in these indexes continue to show resilience and strength, like we've been saying, even on the dip, right? High possibility they are leading indicators on the market right now. I'm going to tell you. Number two, Meta. You're going to notice a lot of these big SPY names are looking tough. Meta is already almost back at, 52-week highs, going back into 325. You're just churning here. We held 304, pushed up nice. Microsoft. I've been saying Microsoft for a few days now. Now, Microsoft had picture perfect action. I posted this on Twitter as well. I posted on Twitter around 328. But again, always recommend following on Twitter, right? But before we go any further, do two things. Like the video. It helps out tremendously. And consider subscribing. Every single day we make videos for you so you are prepared and you know what to expect. If you want to see exactly how we're trading, why we're trading, everything in between, understand we're getting in the market, out of the market. You want to see what our traders are doing, as you can see here, right? These are all traders inside Discord. The link, it may be for you, right? But it's not going to be signals to just follow, make millions of dollars. No, that's not what we do. We teach you how to trade. You're around individuals who are trading as well, and you're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals on the same mission as you who are trading all day, every day. It might be for you. It might not, but do your own DD. Okay, so that's how we're looking, or we're moving decent. We're moving nice. We're getting back above 330. You hold 330, I believe you're moving easy into 340. I think Microsoft is one of the best looking names right now, along with Apple. With Microsoft as well, if you don't know, the news that came out with them on Friday. A new chip regarding AI that's coming out in the space. It will also greatly reduce the cost of Azure, whatever you say. I don't know. Anyways, that's their main bullet points with data centers and making money on Microsoft right now. It's been since basically 2021 what's printing them money. If they can reduce cost, they're going to print further money. And, everyone likes to talk about cost of revenue. But, yeah, Microsoft fixing the issue. Microsoft's super tough. I think Microsoft needs to be in talks of pushing back into all-time highs very soon, pushing out even higher. I'm being dead serious. Very, very strong name there. Okay. Go a little bit into semiconductors. AMD, what I'm liking here. AMD still breaking out of that channel. Still looks really good. There's wedges. You can draw everything like that. Now, AMD, what I like here specifically on the day. As you saw, Friday's closed very strong. We gapped down with other semis to the downside. Semis probably the weakest names out there today. Bounce back right into 107. Very strong behavior. We're looking for a push out and break above 110. Personal opinion there. I personally believe AMD. I bought dated calls for January 2025. I think it's one of the best looking plays right now. looks awesome, stops below $100 in my opinion, your risk reward is almost it's almost 4-to-1 here. It's crazy risk reward opportunity. I like it. They're killing it. And guess who they're partnered with when it comes to making all their chips? They're partnered with Microsoft, something people don't talk about too often. So I like them a lot. One of my big sleepers as well, AVGO. Like I said on Friday, if you watch the video, I don't know how else to say it, but go rewatch the video. I said as long as you remain above 840, you're pushing into 856. Confirmation above 856, you're getting a clear shot into 870. So shout out if you got that retest of 840 today. Beautiful break retest shooting up. Again, watch the video. I leave all the videos, everything like that, and delete content off the channel, so you guys can always, keep me honest, right? I encourage criticism, I encourage questions, but in a respectful way, of course. But ultimately, AVGO looking very strong, very good behavior here. Tesla had a nice little dip today, but you're above 259. Holding 259, I expect 265, 264.8 very quickly. Great hold, great reaction. I can go on a tangent about all the stocks I'm liking. Netflix back into 400. I think it's also free money, right? All these plays I'm loving, I'm liking, right? I could drag on this video for, a pretty long amount of time. But what I'm going to tell you right now is, despite how I feel about the market, specifically with news and events like this, you cannot predict what's going to happen with futures. I cannot. It's impossible for me to predict what Israel's going to do, what the United States is going to do, what, CPI coming out. You have PPI Wednesday, CPI Thursday. I think CPI is the big one you got to watch. But again, I can't predict some of these things that are going to happen. The technicals look amazing. We have the overall roadmap. I'll have stuff posted on Twitter, right? I try to post all day long. You guys can literally see it. Microsoft back here. We had a Meta that we posted a long time ago. We have everything, right? We got that dog in the S&P today, right? The link is down below. But there's only so much I can do in these videos, especially in times like these. So I have to tell you guys, be smart, be accountable to yourself, and don't gamble here, right? Do not gamble here, because this is the time, like I always say, right? You make your money on the breakouts. You had a good breakout today. Really good action. But I have to be able to recognize the potential of how quickly this could drop if bad news does start to come out and we start getting involved. And again, that's my personal opinion. I would love to answer your questions. Comment down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.